Hey guys, we're live on the moon. And it's early Friday morning outside of Houston in a suburb called Richmond at 1:38 a.m. and it's probably 38 degrees outside. My name is Bill Bryson, and I'd like to welcome you to my Moon Musings. I try to get out every night and see what's cooking on the moon. The moon is not the best moon tonight, but we're going to do a pass with the 18mm lens, and after which we're going to try to go in to some of those craters on the right side and look at them up close and personal. I can increase the exposure a little bit, and you'll see that when I do, see how it's all bright at the bottom, but you can see there's detail along the shadow line that we'll be able to bring out as we go on. I'm running a Celestron Nexstar 8 SE, and let me just start going to the left, and we'll just see what we can see. And this particular telescope has a hand control, and I bought an extension cord from somebody on the internet that allows me to bring the hand control inside the house. I bought a 25-foot and I believe a 16-foot, and I put them together. And I got me a 36-foot USB extension, and I'm running the telescope from inside a cozy, warm house next to my computer. And it's really pretty neat to be able to do it from inside the house. Let me go up a little bit. You'll see that on the moon there's a lot of bright spots and shaded spots. On the left you'll see how it's kind of darker, and then if I turn the brightness down, we can bring out some of the detail of those two craters that are approaching center. The fact remains that I believe there's a lot of color on the moon, and I've generated a lot of debate about color. Some people say there's not any color at all, and I'm showing you there's just a hell of a lot of color. It's kind of funny whenever an astronomer will take a static picture of deep space, you know, a time exposure. What you see in that little shaking, that's not the telescope, that's the wind blowing the scope. There's a little breeze out there. And I'm hoping that our atmospherics will settle down as we get into this. With this particular rig, I do have the capability of zoom. And let me turn the brightness down so we can just see some of the detail on that left edge. See if I turn it all the way down, you can see some of the detail of the craters. It's kind of funny though, most astronomers, when they do the moon, they don't show the color. NASA says it's a dead gray planet, and there's just an incredible amount of color. And you'll see me fiddling with these controls trying to bring it out. And it's amazing. Let's zoom in right here. Let me zoom in on this. I believe it's the let's see, this particular crater, I think it's the Ascartes crater. Oops, I'm still getting used to this control. It goes up and down opposite from what I'm used to because I don't have the diagonal wind. And I am running and you'll see when I push on that button, there is a delay. It's kind of built in. Let's just zoom into that particular. I'll turn the auto exposure on. So as we zoom in, okay, let me try to adjust the focus a little bit. And let me turn the brightness down. And see how it kind of brings out the color. I'm going to put a 5mm on that in a little bit. We'll look at it and see what it looks like. But I do have a full zoom, full ranging zoom. But like I said, the moon tonight is not the best. Let me turn the exposure up and work our way to the right. Astronomers will take an exposure. Let me turn the brightness down a little bit. Try to bring out the details. Turn the contrast just a little bit down. Over a period of an hour or two, they might take a time exposure of a nebula, and they do that to kind of, isn't that beautiful? Matter of fact, let's just go up to that one crater and see if we can get a picture of it closer up with the auto on. I think that would be really beautiful. We can do it. And you can see it is a really beautiful shot. And then they run those photos through Photoshop to enhance the color, to bring out the color, to bring out the detail of the picture. And that's exactly what I'm doing on my. I'm adjusting exposure. See, this is the exposure. See, I can turn it down. It's really bright in the bottom left corner. I can adjust the gain. I can control the brightness. This is the brightness. If I turn the brightness down a little bit, see, and I can control the contrast and the color intensity. And basically, when you do all those, it will affect the quality. Now, since I'm not at the telescope, you're saying, well, how can you focus it? Well, look here. I have a focus on the telescope. I'll adjust that right now. See, it's out of focus, and it's in focus. See, and I have another one. It's called autofocus. I'll turn autofocus on right now, which is amazing. And you'll see the camera trip in every once in a while to try to focus the picture. I like to leave autofocus off unless I'm using a really close-up. Okay, let's go in two more. Now the zoom I'm using on this this lens, which is an 18mm lens, is a Carl Zeiss designed zoom on this Logitech camera. And I am in the process of learning how to use it best with this telescope. And when I do my adjustments, it's the same as those guys running it through Photoshop and trying to bring out the color. I'm just trying to bring out the color that's there. I do have coming in, Mike ordered a pretty expensive 19mm lens from made by Teleview, and that particular lens should give us even of higher quality than we're getting here. And let's zoom in on my Crystal Lake area. I'm going to turn the exposure on, turn the brightness up. You can see how I fiddle with all the controls to bring out as much color as I can. Turn the brightness up a little bit more. Okay. And now I'm going to zoom in. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put in a 5mm lens, and to see what it'll do. I tell you what, before we do that, let's just try a Barlow. I got a 2.5 Barlow that should get us in 2.5 times closer on this particular lens. And I'm kind of anxious to see how it will work with this camera and this lens. So I'm going to put in a 2.5 Barlow as an experiment. And see, I feel like an artist when I'm trying to compose the colors on the screen. So hang with me, my friends. I'm going to go out to the porch and I'm going to put this on pause. I'm running a program, by the way, called Teleview video capture software. It's about $39, and it's a download on the internet. And I have the camera, the Logitech camera, capturing the image at 1080p. That's 1920 by 1080, which is 4 megapixels per frame, and I'm doing 8 frames per second. So multiply 8 times 4, and you get a lot of data. Okay, we're going to put in a Barlow now and see what we can do with it. You're kind of guinea pigs with Bill because I'm trying to explore this new camera and learn how it works. So hang with me. Okay guys, we're back. I put in a 2.5 Teleview Powermate Barlow, high quality Barlow. And you can see it really did just about double. We're looking at Crystal Lake, which is centered. Okay. And now I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to put a 5mm on here. We're going to be comparing them. What's unique about this, with this Barlow on this lens, it still brings out the color. You can see the color on the right and the blue in the mare. And let me turn autofocus on right now to see if it's wavy, so it might not. Autofocus is on. You'll see it sometimes come in and out. I'll leave it on for right now. And I'm going to zoom in. And again, I'm doing all this with a, believe it or not, an 18mm lens. And again, it's not the best moon tonight, but I'm just experimenting with this Barlow to see what I can do. and you can see it's not as clear. And see, if I go too far out, see the tunneling? I start on this lens, even with the Barlow, I start about the same place, about not quite half, about 40% in, and then from there I got about 6 clicks of zoom, and when I do that I fill in the corners. Let's, just like it is for grins, we're going to put in a 5mm in just a minute, but let's just go to the edge and go up to the shadow line. And I have auto exposure on, and I'm putting it like this because I know with this particular lens I can bring out the color, and I wanted to bring out the color better. Now let me see if I can focus that. I'm using a JMI focuser. I have 2 focusers on the telescope, a Zoomel and the focuser that came with the camera, with the telescope. Okay, let's do this. Let's go back down to Crystal Lake, just so we compare apples with apples, and I'll put a 5mm in. And I believe that my image should be clear. And at the same time, if I can find it. I hope you guys are doing well. I've been having fun. I got me a Kindle Fire, and there's Crystal Lake right there. So I've been having fun with the Kindle Fire all day. Hang with me, guys. We're going to put in a 5mm. Compare it with this Barlow. One thing to keep in mind with this Barlow, we got a lot of lenses stacked up there. So with a 5mm, it should be less optics. Hang with me. I'm going to change it out. Okay, guys. Back with a 5mm lens. No Barlow, just a 5mm. I have it zoomed out all the way, and I'm going to now zoom in, and let's see what we can do with this 5mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You center it. 6, 7, 8. And that's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. And it's clear. It's a very clear picture. I'm going to do one more thing before I finish my test, but before I do, I'm going to put in a Barlow, that 2.5 Barlow on this, and see how it will work. Well, let me do that right now. I'm going to pause it and put in a 2.5 Barlow. Let me turn the brightness up a little bit. See there? Brings out the details of it. That's just absolutely stunning. I'm going to pause it one more time and try it. We're going to just on this Crystal Lake area, put that 2.5 Barlow in with the 5mm and see how close we can get. Hang with me, guys. You're guinea pigs. I'm experimenting with my new camera. Okay, guys, we're back with a 5mm, and stacked on top of that is a 2.5 Teleview Powermate Barlow. And let me try to focus this manually first. You can see it's just moving in and out. It's not very good, but this will still give us a pretty good. I put autofocus on just right there. Like I told you before, it's not the best of nights, but this will give you an idea of what I have been on this thing before, where it was crystal clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can focus it better. No, just not very clear tonight. Okay, let's back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's pushing it. Okay, that gives. I'm trying to learn how to use this lens. I got a lot of color, but the atmospherics is terrible. I'm going to put the 5 in without the Powermate. Hang on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back with a 5mm, and I mean the 5 is doing real good. It's I mean, for a 5 on this moon, it's doing real good. Let's go up to the shadow line on this 5 now and kind of just see what we can see. The moon, like I say, it's not the best. It's actually kind of awkward because it's real bright at the bottom, and you isn't that beautiful? And it's kind of like the moon is farther away than it normally is. It's way high in the sky. I have been able to put that Crystal Lake crater on the and fill up the whole deal with the. I'm adjusting exposure right now, and fill up the whole deal with the with it. We'll just kind of let it go by and do a survey with this 5. Anyhow, I hope you guys are doing good. I like I said, I got me a Kindle Fire, and it's kind of neat that, you know, for Amazon Prime users. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I come in and out of images, but this is really really pretty. What I wanted to do tonight, but it's just not good enough. I watched that video I did last session on my Kindle Fire. It has like a 1900 by 600 resolution on the screen, and I watched it up close and personal, and I tell you, it really looks spectacular. And I saw that because this is 1080p, it's bringing out each individual pixel, and I saw individual pixels blinking at me on the screen beneath the surface of whatever it is. And see that mare, that looks flat in a different light, but you can see there's depth. It looks like there's a structure down there. And tonight what I wanted to do was I wanted to go in there and try to look below the surface, but the moon is just not. I can't let's take this image. This is beautiful. And let me try to turn the brightness down a little bit. There you go. See that crater right below, and then the one right above, and all the you know, when the meteor came in, or asteroid or whatever hit, and then it looks like it's a paintball on the surface. Just beautiful. You've seen the last couple sessions, guys. I've been trying to show you that there's color on the moon. I've been deliberately doing that. It's too easy just to turn the, let me turn the color all the way down. I'll show you what I mean. If I turn the color all the way down, that's the way the moon usually looks to astronomers. But there's color on the surface, and if you work the color and bring it out with a good camera, you can bring out the color that's on the surface, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to show you that the moon is not a dead planet. It's not a planet, but it's very colorful. Let me continue. Anyhow, I've been fiddling with this, having a lot of fun with this. It's Kindle Fire. It's more than just an ebook reader. It'll play movies, and if you are an Amazon Prime user like I am, now looks centered on that Mars. See this? See that's the things below the surface. That's what intrigues me. Just really intrigues me. And we'll just continue to let it. And you can see how the shadow line is now kind of going across that mare or sea, that coast, what I call a coastline on that one video. And absolutely stunning. Look at the, let's just go up here where, and let me see if I can put it in focus any better. And turn the brightness down. See, it gets to the edge. I believe there's atmosphere on the moon, and if you look at the edge of the moon, how it's got a bluish tint, and when you go to the edge, then the color comes out at you like that. And then when you, let me turn the brightness up again, when you get next to the mare, which is you can see the coastline, and to the right, that's when you see all the detail of the below, what looks to me like is below the surface. And I'll show you the area I'm interested in. I'm centering, oops, too much. Let's see if I can bring out what I'm really interested in looking at with a Barlow when it's a better night. Look at the below, it's kind of centered. Kind of centered. And you'll see like what look like pipes, and they look like straight lines and right angles. And in particular, anytime you see a straight line or a right angle at intersection on the moon, I believe it's man-made or alien-made. And if you look where I'm trying to get right there, centered, and let me turn the brightness down so that, see those straight lines and right angled lines and everything? It looks like, to me, like they're structures. That's what I'm interested in, guys. That's what I'm interested in. Now let me back out so you can see where we're at. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let me turn the brightness up. Isn't it neat that you can do all this and you got the color to boot? Even on a bad moon. This is a bad moon night. It's a bad hair night, guys. But I can still bring out some of the color that's there. I think it's amazing. Yeah, if you look to the immediate left of that large crater, there's a mountain range, and to the immediate left of that, you'll see two smaller craters, and it's below the one that I'll center that smaller crater, and the structures that I'm interested in, whatever they are, I have no idea. Oops, went the wrong way again. Tell you what, since I'm down there, see that I want to zoom in on that with a 5. And turn the brightness down. John Lear, by the way, says that crater right there, Scartaes, is a power plant. I don't know if that's true or not, but when it comes to the moon, nothing would surprise me. Let me turn the brightness back up. And if you look below the surface, kind of that crater that's right smack dab in the center, right below that are right angled, looks like structures. I don't know what they are. And also to the left. And one of these days, the night's going to be just perfect enough, and I'll be able to go in there and analyze them. I believe that, I don't understand it. I can't believe that that's just a flat surface, and I think it's translucent. Anyhow, that's a good place to stop as any. Hope you guys have a great Friday, and everything is going your way. So in the meantime, I wish you and yours clear skies, guys.